Alright, hey there Pink Sox Nation, it's Coach Charles here. This is the first video I'm going to be doing throughout the year. This is to go over techniques that we talk about in practice and that we're going to be using throughout the rest of the season for the fall. Now, I know some of you are returning players and some of you are brand new to the game, and there's a lot of information that Coach John and I are throwing at you. So it can get a little confusing, it can get a little overwhelming, totally understand that. So that's what the purpose of these videos are for. If for some reason you can't make practice or you're a little unclear about something that we said at practice, this will help give you a little bit of a reminder. You can go back to these videos and watch them anytime you want. If you have any questions on them, you can always contact me, contact Coach John. That's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you understand what you're doing out there so that you can get the most fun out of this game, all right? Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun this season. Alright, so what I'm going to do tonight, this first video is going to be about defense. Alright, defense is super important. Alright, I know people think about when you're playing softball that the hitting is where it's at, but a good defense is very important because if you can stop the other team from scoring, that means you don't have to worry about scoring as much. It takes a little bit of pressure off your bats. Alright, you want to be able to make sure that you can make the plays in the field so that the other team's not making it across home plate and scoring on you. So what we're going to work on today is looking at how to place your body when you're playing in the field and how to position your glove. All right. Now on Tuesday night's practice, the next practice we have, I'm going to be going over something that I like to call the circles or zones of responsibility. And that's when we talk about how you cover certain bases, like if the ball is hit to shortstop, what does the second baseman do? If the ball is hit to first, but it goes past first base, what does the right fielder do? We'll be talking about things like that on Tuesday. For now, we're going to be talking about the 3 zones of coverage where a ball is actually going to be hit or thrown to you, all right, and how to have your glove. First thing about defense is you've got to be ready, all right? We don't want you to get hurt out there. So when you're in the field, you're ready, you're like this. Your knees are a little bit bent, and you're watching the batter, and you're aware of anybody on base if there is anybody on there. We don't want you to get hurt, all right? So don't be looking around in the sky or laying in the dirt, making some dirt angels and stuff like that. Watch the batter, listen to Coach John and myself, because you'll be shouting out things like, hey, move to the side, hey, come on in a little bit, because we want to make sure that you're in a position to make the play. You want to try and get in front of the ball, and you want to be able to move to the ball, because when you're playing a position, just because you're at second base doesn't mean the ball is going to be hit right to you. You may have to move to the ball. It's not like a magnet. It's not going to automatically come to you. All right, so you've got to be able to see the ball when it gets hit so that you're reacting to it right away and not waiting for it to be right on you where it catches you by surprise. All right, because that's a good way to get hurt, and we definitely don't want that. Okay, so the first thing you do, you crouch down a little bit. Whatever leg is on the same side as your glove, all right? Call this our glove leg. This is my glove leg, okay? My glove leg is forward. My power leg is back. It's staggered a little bit. I'm not standing up straight like this. When I stand straight like this and you try to push me, I can easily fall. But if I have a little bit of a stagger in my step, I have a lot more stability. I'm a lot more flexible. You can feel it. There's a lot more bounce to it. It also lets me move that way if I want to by taking my glove leg and crossing it over and pivoting and then running. If I want to go that way, take my power leg, cross behind, pivot, and run. It makes it a lot easier. It makes you a lot more dynamic in the field. If your legs are at the same level, if you try to step that way, you can trip over yourself. Or if you try to step out with this leg to go that way, if the grass is wet or the dirt is loose or whatever, you can actually slip and slide and hurt yourself. So this allows you to be ready. You're in this position, you're ready for the ball. There are 3 zones a ball's going to come at you. Zone 1, from the ground to your waist. Zone 2, from your waist to your head. And then zone 3 is anything above your head. Now, zone 1 you'll probably see a lot of if you're playing in the infield, all right? Ground balls, balls that come around here, maybe a low pop fly or a bounce off the ground. Generally, you're going to try and catch those like this. You'll hear it sometimes called like a basket catch because it's what your glove looks like. It looks like it's shaped like a little basket. You're just dropping the ball in there. Okay? So the ball gets hit here, you're like this, and you've got it. You want to try and get in front of it whenever you can, but sometimes the ball's hit too fast and you gotta just reach for it. That's all right. You do what you gotta do. But you want to be like this for the waist to the ground, ground to the waist. When you're fielding a ball on the ground, it might be a little harder to see on this video, but you want to pop your legs out a little bit and get this glove down. You want the glove to be down on the ground because if you have space between the glove and the ground, guess what happens to the ball? It rolls right under it, right? You don't want that to happen. So you want to have that ball, you want to have this glove on the ground. Take your other hand and put it like this. This way the ball doesn't roll up and come up and smack you in the face. And also it's there for you to trap the ball so that when you stand back up, now you're ready to throw wherever you need to throw. All right? It's important that the first step, getting the ball, is done before you try to make a move towards the base. It gets exciting out there. The ball gets hit. You see it. Everybody wants to go for it. If you take your eyes off the ball, if you're looking at first base because you know you need to throw to first base, if you're looking over there and you're trying to field the ball, you're taking your eye off the ball. That ball might have hit a piece of dirt that's loose or a little piece of grass or whatever and rolled that way. And now you don't know where it is. Focus on getting the ball first and then step two, making the play. Don't skip steps, okay? Be focused, be ready. So you'll see a lot of those. Remember, zone one, you're kind of like this. Now zone two, you'll see a lot more often when you're fielding, especially if you're in the infield for bases, because it's how you're going to be catching the ball. You don't want to catch like this. Look at how small this target is versus this. All right? You have so much more surface area to play in, so many more chances to get the ball safely. If you try to catch like this, if you're playing first base and you're waiting for the ball like this, you've made a smaller target for the thrower to get to, and you've left yourself open to it bouncing off, maybe hitting you in the face, maybe hitting past you, maybe hitting you in the chest. You don't have as good coverage. So you want to be able to catch like this or like this. When you were in zone one, the heel of the glove, that's what we call this, was pretty much pointing straight up or back at you. For zone two, it's pointing down. It could be pointing this way. It could be pointing this way. But it's never pointing up like this. It's never a basket catch. Think of it like windshield wipers in a car, all right? And back and forth. Depending on where the ball is hit, that's how you move. Sometimes the ball might be going fast over there. You need to lunge and grab it like that. You're not going to try and turn like that. See how awkward that is? Even just try doing that. It's hard to do. You want to go the natural way and go to it. Same thing if it's hit this way, reaching out and grabbing it. Ideally, you want to try and get in front of it and be ready for it. You don't want the ball to come at you and then be afraid of it and then step to the side and try to catch it. Because if you do that, if the ball gets past your glove, it's rolling out somewhere into the outfield and then they're running around the bases while we're trying to get the ball back, all right? So you want to try and get your body in front of it as best you can. Be ready to catch the ball, trap it, make the play. Same thing as with ground balls. Make sure you have the ball first before you start trying to go for the next part of it, okay? You want to be able to protect yourself. The glove's like this. All right, you see how it's never trying to catch it like this. Okay? Third position, the third zone, easiest one to explain, it's up here. Your hands are going to be positioned just like they were in zone 2. All right? But instead of windshield wipers, now I'm just kind of like waving to birds and stuff like that, all right? You're never trying to catch a fly ball like this. Because again, that ball can come up here and come down and hit you in the head. You want to be able like this. You want to try and get under it as best you can and be ready for it. Remember, the ball is not always going to be hit to you. You're not always going to be able to get in front of it. Sometimes you're going to have to lunge a little bit. Sometimes you're going to have to move your feet really quick. It happens. But as long as you're alert and you're practicing these things, you'll be fine. All right? So what I want you to do is, grab a friend, grab your parents, your siblings, grandparents, aunt, uncle, whoever, all right? And just practice doing the things that Coach John was doing with you in the field the other night. Practice, rolling ground balls. and feeling them. Practice throwing balls to zone 2, the waist to the head. Practice even just tossing it up and trying some pop flies yourself, just to get used to it. Because you can watch this video all you want, you can watch games on TV, but there's really no substitute for actually practicing it. All right, so we only have practice once a week. So there are going to be nights where, maybe we don't get to have practice because it's rainy, or, maybe you've got something for school or something like that. Maybe on a Wednesday night instead of a Tuesday night, you can go out with one of your friends or your parents or wherever and practice catching. That's the fun thing about this, is that it doesn't just have to be done on our regular practice night. All right, Anna and I, we throw the ball around the backyard every once in a while because that's what we like to do. That's the good thing about this, is that not only are you practicing and getting a new skill, you're having fun while you're doing it, right? That's the whole point of this. Now, trust me, I know it gets really confusing, and there's a lot of information coming your way. Just stick with it. I promise you that you can do this. I believe that you can do this. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be here doing this, all right? I promise you, all right? It's going to be good. I'm going to post another video in a little while, just going over a little quick thing on throwing mechanics and the game of Pepper that I introduced some of you to and reminded others of this past Tuesday night. That's a little hitting drill that will definitely improve your hand-eye coordination at the plate. And other than that, that's all I've got for right now. So it was a great first practice the other night, ladies. I was really happy with what I saw. The hustle was great, the effort, the attention to detail. It was really good. We're going to have a really fun season. Any questions at all, let me know. I promise I'll get back to you. I'll work with you. Don't worry. Don't be embarrassed. We'll handle it, all right? We're going to have fun this season, all right? Let's go Pink Sox. See you Tuesday.